What is the connection between your purpose and entrepreneurship? That is going to be the topic on this week's episode of the Advancement Strategies podcast. I'll be right back. Your empowerment for advancement is our mission here. I am Iyke Nwambie. Welcome to the program. Welcome to Advancement Strategies broadcast, where you are empowered for advancement. I am Dr. Iyke Nwambie, your cheerleader of success, advancement, and leadership. The topic today is, what is the connection between your purpose and entrepreneurship? Former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill once said that it's not enough to have lived. We should be determined to live for something. Living for something is what I call purpose, because purpose is the original reason for a thing, the reason for a thing, the reason for the production, creation, and manufacture of a thing or a person. So it's not enough to have lived. We should be determined to live for something great, something noble, something that will be consistent with the original reason for our creation. But much as I agreed with the Prime Minister, I dare say that living for something is called purpose. But getting your purpose to pay its own bill is what I call entrepreneurship. Getting your purpose to pay its own bill is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the pursuit of business. What then is business? Business is solving a problem for another person at a profit. The key word there is at a profit. So we have two kinds of businesses: for-profit businesses and not-for-profit businesses. But I'm talking about the for-profit kind of businesses on this episode of this program. Hear this. If your purpose cannot pay its own bill, it becomes a hobby. If your purpose cannot pay its own bill, it's a hobby. And hobbies do not pay bills. Hobbies make us happy, get us excited, but they don't pay our bills. You see, the interesting thing about hobbies is that they make us happy without a paycheck to show for it. Do you just want to be happy without a paycheck to show for your labor, to show for your efforts, to show for your inputs? Is that a kind of choice you want to make? I don't want to make that kind of choice. Of course, I understand the place of giving back to the community, our corporate social responsibilities, but is it not from the profit you make that you engage in corporate social responsibilities? That's what I think. The richest man that ever lived in Bible days, King Solomon, made this statement. He said, "In all labor, there is profit. In all labor, there is profit." So profit is an essential aspect of the labor that we put out. So in all labor, there is profit. That labor you put forth to give your purpose a voice is what I call entrepreneurship. Sam Walton had an idea of discounted stores, but until he put that idea into the process of entrepreneurship, he never gave a voice to it. So Sam Walton gave voice to his entrepreneurship when he established the Walmart range of stores. The same thing applies to John Green. He gave voice to his entrepreneurship where he established Hobby Lobby. The same thing applies to the founders of McDonald's, Wendy, Apple Computers, and a whole lot of other big companies out there. And before you get intimidated and say, "Oh, I'm not in their league," of course. But they started just like we are starting, just like you are starting. They started small. Sam Walton started the Walmart stores from one store and built it up. You can do the same in your own little corner, especially now that we are in the digital space, in the digital world. So I'm going to be talking to you in a couple of weeks ahead on digital entrepreneurship. Digital entrepreneurship. And while we are on that, I have a quick advice for you, and that is, don't pursue your purpose with a mindset of a hobby. Pursue it as an enterprise. Pursue your purpose as an enterprise, not as a hobby. It will help if you learn how to distinguish your not-for-profit ventures from your for-profit ventures. It is from your for-profit ventures that you make the money with which you take care of your non-for-profit ventures. Hear this. Entrepreneurs run enterprises. The process of doing that is called entrepreneurship. Yes, entrepreneurship. A friend of mine, I remember the story of a friend of mine who complained about money. He was running short of money and he was almost getting broke, yet he had these items in his house. So we got talking. I saw those items. I said, "You're talking about money, but these things are money." He said, "How?" I said, "Well, I can show you who will buy them." I took him to those who would buy those items and he sold them so easily and he had money. What is the difference? He was giving them out free of charge to people because he didn't attach any monetary value to it. He didn't see them as something he could convert to money, yet there is a ready market for it. When I showed him that, he converted it and made some money and some profit. That is entrepreneurship. You may be having a whole bunch of things lying fallow within you, or things you can sell, or your giftings, or your talents, or your purpose, and you're just giving them out free of charge. And that's okay for a while, but you must have a system of enlisting the strategy of entrepreneurship for that purpose to be able to pay its bills. So having discovered the benefits of entrepreneurship, the question I have for you today is, what is stopping your desire for entrepreneurship? What is stopping your desire for entrepreneurship? Now, the singular thing that stops the desires of people for entrepreneurship is not that they don't have the desire, that people don't have the desire for entrepreneurship. For example, don't you have the desire to be an entrepreneur? Don't you? Even if you're working and earning a pay, don't you toy with the idea of being able to build something, even if it's a side hustle that can give you some money and all of that? Don't you once in a while have that thought? Haven't you thought about it? According to research, the number one reason why people are not eager to build their businesses and their enterprises is called fear. Yes, fear. Fear is the number one reason. Fear comes in different shapes, in different forms. You have fear of the unknown, fear of failing if you start. People are oftentimes afraid they haven't started, but they can imagine several failures. Fear of starting small. Some are used to buying their items in big stores and big malls, so they can imagine starting whatever they need to start at a very slow size and pace. The fear of being laughed at, that, oh, how come you're doing such a little thing? The fear of losing your capital in case everything goes wrong. And other types of fear. Fear, fear, fear. But hear this. Fear is a false experience that appears real. That thing you call fear is in the heart of even the achiever. Every entrepreneur has fear playing in one corner of his or her mind. But what entrepreneurs do, successful entrepreneurs, develop a strategy of silencing the noise of fear and superimposing the noise of fear with the sound of faith. So how can you take care of that fear of jumpstarting your dream? How can you neutralize it? How can you nip it in the bud? Well, you can use the strategy of declaration. And that is why I created a 30-day scriptural declarations against the fear of jumpstarting your dream to help you achieve that strategy of building faith in your heart. That faith that will empower you like no other. So I ask you to click the link somewhere around this video. It's going to give you access to that 30-day scriptural declarations against the fear of jumpstarting your dream. It certainly will. I make those declarations and it knocks the fear out of my mind. They are scriptural, they are faith-based, scripture-based, and inspiring. Go ahead and click the link and gain access to it. And before I let you go today, I have one quick question for you. That question is, what type of enterprise are you interested in? What type of enterprise are you interested in? Singing, dancing, cooking, writing, traveling, talking, giving speeches, opening a store, opening a business? What kind of enterprise are you interested in? Let's hear from you. And finally, remember to subscribe to my channel today, the Advancement TV channel, where your inspiration is guaranteed, where your inspiration is paramount on our hearts. Go ahead and click the subscribe button. And until I come your way in another video, I say to you, refuse to quit, keep advancing.